And I'm delighted to be able to speak to this motion here tonight and compliment the proposers for so doing. But I would encourage maybe Fianna Fáil colleagues. I used to be a member of that erstwhile group, and I certainly a few times, not more than once, former Taoiseach, I name plural, Hearn and Cowan both said to me that the HSE was going to be disbanded. So here's another issue. That it hasn't been disbanded. It's an organisation now that's unfit for the job it has to do, totally unfit. And I heard the Minister's speech, and I respect what he said, and respect that he said that the money has been paid back, every cent of it, and rightly so. And there should be interest and penalties as well, because any of us have contracts, and into contracts is a two-way mechanism, and there should be punishments, and there should be some kind of discipline for people who break the contracts. And it's sad to see, the PCRS, so not a night goes by and they work late, I can see, because I get emails back in relation to medical cards. And my colleague Dr Hartley is far more eloquent and understanding of the health system to talk about it from his experience as an excellent GP in West Clare. And when we see chains of pharmacies able to come in and pull the wool over the eyes of people that are administrating this scheme. Now, the Minister did say and compliment the hard work that people do on a daily basis. I do as well. But I blame management. Management and major oversights. I blame management in the HSE. We have 40% more managers now than we had in 2007, growing so strong after a massive cutbacks and recession, and no front line nurses and doctors and staff and other things. So all is not well in the HSE. All is extremely unwell in the HSE. If it was a patient, I'd ask Dr Hartley to prescribe some very strong medicine, but it's not a patient. But it's an organisation that has outlived its uselessness, overgrown its capabilities and understanding of ordinary human problems. When I and my colleague in this House, including the Minister and deputies opposite, have people crying in our clinics over medical cards, very sick people, or at stage 2 or 3 or 4 cancer. They must be terminally ill, they must have a diagnosis of they need palliative care. The pain and the anguish of those sick people trying to get the medical card. Other cases, 99-year-olds and 98-year-olds and 80-year-olds, 70-year-olds, they're €6 over the limit. And the trauma and the distress and the regimental treatment that they get, albeit sensibly, in fairness to the staff, but it's just rigid. And how this group could pull the wool and could have that kind of literally racketeering going on, that's all they call it, nothing short of a racketeering. Something similar to the smugglers in the north of Ireland. It's the same kind of criminal, as far as I'm concerned, it's a crime. And is there anybody investigating the crime? Are the Gardaí called in? Is there a file gone to the DPP? OK, it's paid back. Thank you very much. If an ordinary person that can't get the medicine, can't afford the prescription charges, pilfers something in one of these chemists, because they needed it, they'd be prosecuted, they'd be guards, they'd be harangued, they'd be gone to the DPP, they'd be in court. This is typical again of the way Ireland has turned out. And this year we celebrate 1916, that the big, powerful organisations can do what they like. And now we had it this evening, I mentioned about the insurance. We have the meat industry by the Goodman chain. We have the banks, what they did to the people. If you're big and powerful, you can do what you like. And the Minister thanked them this evening for paying it back. Didn't thank him, but he said that he thanked his officials for getting it back and it was paid back in full. It should be paid back with savage, punitive interest. And we might be able to give out a few more medical cards. The volume of money is just frightening. And you, Minister, know, and I thank you for visiting Tipperary recently and being sensitive and understanding to an institution. And we have a place like the sister institute like Ashling in Ballyeraggett this evening saying they won't be able to continue with the funding stream there. And this kind of racket is going on at that level. And we have ordinary community pharmacists and community JCBs, community GPs, not able to continue and being withdrawn and not being renewed. And they're fighting with the GPs over the rural allowance. So there's 15,000 or 25,000. When we have wonderful GPs, we want to keep them. And to see this going on at that level, there's something rotten in the state of Denmark. There's something seriously rotten in the HSE that they could be so cavalier and so. And I thank the journalist and I thank the whistleblower and RTE investigates for exposing this. How many more cases like this are there? I ask. And I'm certain sure there are more. And I'm just wondering, is there what we call brown envelopes, like Dáil or Shul? And it's an HSE. I'm sure there are, because this couldn't just happen, and it couldn't get over with a proper oversight. Couldn't go on. Ordinary people that tender, I know them, they tender for different services. Many have been discontinued. Taxi and hackney services to bring people to hospitals, to appointments, to bring mental health patients now from Clonmel, the closed institution, to Kilkenny. They've been withdrawn and not allowed anymore. Just an email one Friday evening, discontinued. Just like that, merciless disgraceful treatment, and yet we can have these big trips, and I'm sure these companies give many officials at the HSE a nice trip abroad and a nice trip here and there, and nice little sweeteners for what went on. So there should be a Garda investigation, and there should be a criminal investigation into what this went on, and we need eyes to be opened, and the wool pulled off the eyes of many senior managers in the HSE.